Praise Pathways presents Understanding the Old Testament, a plain language summary of Zephaniah. Welcome to our 6-minute journey through the Old Testament chapter, Zephaniah. We'll unravel its complex verses in a language everyone can understand. Zephaniah, a prophet, lived during the reign of King Josiah. He warned Judah about an imminent disaster, the Day of the Lord. This Day of the Lord was not a celebration. It was a day of wrath, of hardship, of devastation, and darkness, a bleak prophecy of what was to come. Zephaniah's prophecy was not just doom and gloom. It was also an urgent call to repentance. He urged the people of Judah to seek righteousness and humility. His warnings extended beyond Judah. He prophesied that surrounding nations would also face God's judgment for their actions and idolatrous practices. Nations like Philistia, Moab, Ammon, and the mighty Assyria were predicted to fall, highlighting God's powers and dominion over all nations. But why this harsh judgment? Zephaniah made it clear, it was due to their ungodly actions, their disobedience, and refusal to follow God's commandments. Yet, despite the severity of the judgment, Zephaniah gave hope. He painted a picture of a future where a humble and faithful remnant would survive. This faithful remnant would effectively serve as the seeds for a rebirth, a new society rooted in humility, righteousness, and obedience to God's laws. This new society, Zephaniah prophesied, would be marked by honesty and truth. It would be a place where deceit and lies would be absent. More so, this society would be one of unity. All its inhabitants would call upon the name of the Lord and serve Him in unison. Zephaniah also offered a comforting promise. God would rejoice over this new society with gladness and songs of joy, as a father rejoices over his children. This, according to Zephaniah, is the love of God. Yes, He judges, but He also restores. He purifies, but also rejoices over His people with singing. In the final part of his prophecy, Zephaniah summoned Jerusalem to sing and rejoice. God had taken away their judgment and turned back their enemies. The chapter concludes with God's promise to restore the fortunes of His people. An assurance that their sorrow will turn into rejoicing and their shame into praise. Zephaniah's message, therefore, is one of hope amidst judgment. It's a call to humility and righteousness, a reassurance of God's enduring love and restoration. Ultimately, Zephaniah's prophecy is a reflection of God's character, a just judge, a loving father, and a restorer of fortunes. In essence, the chapter of Zephaniah, although filled with warnings, ends on a hopeful note, a promise of restoration, a call towards righteousness and the reassuring love of God. Whether you're a believer or not, the lessons from Zephaniah are universal: the importance of humility, the pursuit of righteousness, and hope for a brighter future. Thank you for joining this simplified journey into Zephaniah. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we continue our exploration into the Old Testament with the book of Haggai. If you believe in the positive impact we're striving for, share this video with friends, family, or anyone you think might resonate with our message. Let's grow this community together.